Hello, and welcome to Spotlight on Education. I'm Dr. Jamie Savedoff, Superintendent of Schools in East Brunswick. My guest today is Mrs. Mary Mackenzie, Supervisor of World Languages, ESL, and Bilingual Education, and Mr. Roy Umana, teacher of Spanish at Churchill Junior High School. During today's program, we will discuss the Visiting International Faculty Program. And by way of background, as many of you may be aware, we are facing a critical shortage of teachers in this country, and particularly in New Jersey. And the areas in most need are math, science, and world languages. We are also seeing critical shortages of teachers in the areas of special education, guidance counseling, and school administration. In the next 10 years, it is estimated that half of the nation's teachers will be retiring. That's over 4 million teachers nationwide. And in East Brunswick, we have estimated that we will need to hire 400 new teachers between 2001 and 2005. Because of the shortage of teachers, particularly in the areas of world languages and math and science, school districts are finding more creative and innovative methods for recruiting teachers to these much-needed positions. One of the alternatives is utilizing the Visiting International Faculty Program. Ms. Mackenzie, can you please describe the program for us and explain how East Brunswick became a host district?
Well, the VIF program is the leading exchange program for international teachers. There are about 1,200 teachers with the Visiting International Faculty Program in the United States. In particular, in New Jersey, there are about 90 teachers in 38 districts who are delivering foreign language instruction, science, special ed. We became involved with the program because of a difficulty in staffing, as you had said, the World Language Program. With the state mandate requiring instruction for all students, we have dramatically increased the number of teachers on our staff. This summer, I hired 12 teachers. 8 of those were standard New Jersey teachers, and 4 were VIF teachers. In terms of the process that we use, we follow the same process as we do for all teachers. We interviewed them, looked at credentials, all those type of things. However, the one difference was our interview was via the telephone. The building principal and I interviewed each of the teachers that we hired, and actually a couple that we did not hire via the telephone. So that was how we hired the teachers here. I initially heard about the VIF teachers 3 years ago at the American Council on the Teaching of Foreign Language annual conference. They did a presentation. I met several of the teachers, and I was very impressed. The next year, I again met more of them, and I spoke with Martin Smith, who was at that time the supervisor in Princeton, and he had some VIF teachers. I was then able to observe one of the teachers in Princeton, and I was very impressed with the quality of instruction. So as we look to hire teachers here, I looked at that alternative in terms of using the Visiting International Faculty. They do bring quality of instruction and a cultural understanding that is an asset to the Foreign Language Department in the district.
Now, what are the qualifications of these teachers, and how are they chosen by VIF to teach in the United States?
The qualifications for the teachers are, firstly, they must be fluent in English. Secondly, they must have the equivalent of a bachelor's degree and outstanding teaching experiences and references. The VIF folks go to the country. For example, Ken Hart from New Jersey went to Costa Rica, interviewed about 50 candidates there. And they verify credentials, they talk to their references, and they are screened that way. VIF takes only about 10% of the folks that apply to be a part of their program. So they are highly screened through VIF. And then we as a district, again, screen through that process.
So the obvious benefit is that we can obtain teachers to teach in these critical areas. What are some of the other benefits to our students?
Well, the benefits to our students that, in general, foreign language brings, and our other teachers also bring, is the cultural understanding, the intimate understanding of the culture of another country, and that helps students be more tolerant and also be more ready to work in a global economy. So that is what they bring. They also bring a very recent understanding and current understanding of the culture of their home country. For example, Roy was telling me earlier some of the questions that his students asked him about families and the house, things that are very different from here. I don't know, Roy, if you want to talk about that a little?
Yeah, one interesting issue that has happened in our classes is that when we come to teach, we do not only bring language and grammar stuff to the classroom, but also culture. And interesting seem to be very, very interested in getting to know, you know, the place where you come from and what customs your country has. For instance, the other day we were talking about family, and they got shocked when, you know, I told them that I have 5 brothers and 5 sisters, that we have a large family. And when we talked about the kitchen issues, we talked about, you know, how much time a mother in the United States spends in the kitchen and how much time does a Costa Rican woman spend in the kitchen because of those kids. So, you know, those are interesting issues that come when we teachers come to the United States to teach. And students seem to like that, you know, that they get a language integrated with culture.
And did you have this discussion about the kitchen in English or Spanish?
Of course, in Spanish. Everything is in Spanish in our classroom. Since we get there, there is, we would say, like 98% of the classroom is in the target language. I mean, sometimes, you know, there is like a specific issue that it's difficult to go through, so you do it in English. But most of our class is in Spanish, in the target language.
Excellent. So how are students responding to the visiting teachers?
They're responding very positively, and again, not very differently from how they respond to our other foreign language teachers, because they bring very much the same qualities as many of our other teachers. One of the examples of some of the cultural pieces that they're bringing is one of our French teachers at Churchill, Karine Boutalot, has a friend in France who has a daughter who is the same age as the students that she is teaching. So they have an ongoing email exchange, and the young girl from France is coming over and will be visiting the class and getting to meet the kids and talk about what it's like to be a teenager in France and what school is like. So it's an added dimension that they are getting. And we are looking to expand to more technological exchanges through the VIF teachers and their home schools where the technology is available. So that's an extra piece that we're getting, and a positive reception from the students.
And Mr. Umana, how did you become involved with VIF?
Okay, VIF is a program that has worked with Costa Rican teachers for at least 10 years. Actually, Costa Rica is one of the first countries this program started with. In Costa Rica, the program is announced on media, on newspapers, and also at the main universities. That's the way I got involved. I sent an application, and they gave you an appointment. So when you can meet these people from the United States, from the VIF program, they came to Costa Rica, they interview us, and you know, you went through a process. You even had to write a paper, you know, on you know, what has been your experience and what could you teach your students, what could you teach in another country from your own culture. We are also named like ambassadors because of this issue of culture. And actually, it's I'm proud of being selected by this program, and I feel very, very happy to be right here teaching in the United States.
And have you enjoyed your experience so far in East Brunswick?
Certainly, I have enjoyed this experience. It's quite different, you know. Our system, our methodology is a little bit different. I'm very happy to be here because I'm also learning. It's not only that you teach, but you also learn from the system, from the methodology, from the other teachers and support that we have at the school.
You mentioned some differences. What are the differences you're finding between teaching in the United States and Costa Rica?
Okay, regarding to differences, I would say that one of the main differences is the use of technology. Our students down in Costa Rica don't have all the tools that these students have in our classrooms. Sometimes we have it, but just in a media center like you do. But in our classrooms right here in New Brunswick, I mean, where you as a teacher count on a TV, a video, a VCR, a projector, that helps a lot in our classroom. Another difference is that teachers do not meet every single day with students. In our country, we meet only like 2 times a week, and the methodology that is used right here in the United States, or in New Jersey at least, helps a lot teachers to keep tracking of their learning process. You can see how much this student is improving by seeing each kid every single day of the week. In Costa Rica, unfortunately, we are right now extending technology to public schools. I mean, to be in a public school with all these tools that you count in East Brunswick is amazing. Another difference is in terms of budget. Our students down there, even though our education is free, our students have to spend money buying books and buying uniforms, and the service of buses, they have also to afford that. So students right here in New Jersey, they have that for free, in real free, you know. So that makes education it makes education easier. Something else that I have been impressed is materials in the classroom. I mean, like in Churchill, students have created a bank of materials, and right now I'm collaborating to give more materials to our activities in the classroom. And that helps a lot because, you know, like when you study vocabulary, you have pictures for everything, or you have videos that show and help students, you know, to see what they are learning. It's not something abstract, but, you know, they can see what they are learning. Then the books that we use in the classroom and in general the methodology helps students to express themselves easily. We work with a methodology that is called intercommunicative, and what we do is like we teach a main topic, and once the students have learned the basis, they take that material and they bring it down to their lives, and they're able to express themselves. They just take that material that they have learned in the target language, and they are able to express themselves, just taking that to their own lives. Mm-hmm. So like, for example, when we talk about family, you know, they don't have to talk only about a Spanish family, but they talk with the target language about his own family. And that makes topics in the classroom very, very interesting. And the students react. They are able to react to different situations about their lives in the target language.
That's great. Let's take a look at some classes in action.
Y uso jabón. Uso un jabón para lavarme y un paño para secarme. ¿Sí? Muy bien. Yo me visto, me pongo la ropa. Ok, me peino. Ok, me peino con un cepillo y con un espejo. ¿Sí? Con un espejo. Ok, me afeito. ¿Quién se afeita aquí? ¿Alguien se afeita aquí? ¿Quién se afeita? ¿Quién se afeita? Tú. Sí, pero ¿te afeitas tú? ¿Tú te afeitas en la mañana? No, ¿ah? Ok.
Todas las mañanas mis peñas.
Me peino el pelo.
Peino el pelo.
Muy bien.
Con shampoo.
Muy bien, con champú. Ok, siga practicando en el grupo.
Sí. Muy bien.
Ok, me lavo los dientes con agua fría, puede ser, está bien. Pero primero me levanto, después Primero me levanto, ¿ok? Me baño, muy bien, me baño. Ok, me baño con agua. ¿Tú te bañas con agua fría o agua caliente?
Agua fría.
¿Agua fría? Sí, ¿y tú?
Agua caliente.
Agua caliente.
La verdad?
Sí, la verdad. Muy bien, continúe.
De son scooter. Tout maintenant prêt pour le départ.
Oui, très bien. Alors vous voyez, vous avez 3 questions juste dessous. Avez-vous compris? Pourquoi est-ce que Jean-Christophe veut faire du camping? Est-ce que vous avez compris pourquoi il veut faire du camping, Jean-Christophe? Est-ce qu'il aime le camping? Oui. Mais pourquoi il veut faire du camping maintenant? Au tout début du texte, il y a quelque chose. C'est Matthew qui l'a lu. Oui?
Il a une tente de camping.
Oui. Quand il a eu la tente de camping? Pour Noël? Non.
Pour son anniversaire.
Voilà. Il a eu une tente de camping pour son anniversaire. C'est pour ça qu'il veut faire du camping.
Jean-Christophe et ses deux copains ont pris leur matériel de camping et ils sont remontés.
4 pouces. Et je dis, c'est quoi pouce? Elle me dit, aux États-Unis, on dit pouce, pouce, pouce. On dit ça pour les chats. Poussi, poussi. Et en France, on dit minou, minou, minou. On va appeler le chat. Alors là, c'est aïe. Aïe, c'est ouch. Alors, vous répondez aux questions ensuite?
À quelle heure est-ce que les garçons déjeuner?
¿Ellas? Gracias, John. La C. ¿Quién quiere leer la C? Steven.
Él es un chico.
Excelente. ¿Quién quiere leer la D? D. A ver. ¿A quién me escuché hoy? Stefan. Sí. La D. No, la D no. Sí, la D.
Él es estudiante.
Excelente. ¿Quién quiere leer la E? Jordan.
Ellos son chicos.
Excelente. Y F. Jessica.
Ella es una.
¿Ella?
Ella es una.
Excelente. Bien. Ahora, esas oraciones ahí, ¿sí? Él es estudiante, ella es doctora. ¿Están aquí? Yo soy maestra. ¿Sí?
Sí.
¿Sí? ¿Tú?
No.
¿Eres maestra?
No. Estudiante.
¿Tú eres estudiante? Muy bien, muy bien. ¿Ella? ¿Ella?
Sí.
¿Es? Muy bien, ella es estudiante. ¿Sí? ¿Él? Él es estudiante. Muy bien. Cristina y yo, nosotras, chicas, somos chicas. Muy bien.
Esteban.
¿De dónde es Esteban? ¿De dónde es Esteban? ¿Sí? Esteban.
So have you had a chance to travel yet to other locations, and do you have any future travel plans?
Yes. I just spent Thanksgiving in Michigan, and the thing is that I went to school in Michigan. I graduated from Albion College. I came here with a scholarship, so I have been in several states so far. And also, I traveled not only in the United States, but also abroad. I had 1 year experience teaching in London. And all this experience and all this visiting and learning from your own culture, I think makes also my experience much more interesting.
Do you have any places in the United States that you would particularly like to visit while you're here?
Well, yeah, I haven't been in the Grand Canyon, and that's, I think, the next place that I will be heading to. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Mary, what support does East Brunswick give to its VIF teachers?
We give the same support that we give to all beginning teachers and perhaps a little extra. When the teachers came in the summer, they participated in the new teachers workshops the week before school. We also were helping them at that time find housing, and one of our Italian teachers, Giacomo Tonacci, graciously opened his home and allowed the teachers to stay in an apartment that he had in his home until they were able to find housing for the year. The VIF teachers, along with the other teachers in our department, participate in the ongoing staff development. They participated in the 2 November workshop days, and they're participating in the regular staff development that occurs at monthly department meetings. I was in with the VIF teachers in their classrooms on almost a daily basis, all 4 of the foreign language VIF teachers in September, and we were in constant contact, and I would touch base with them to make sure everything was okay, help them understand what back to school night was, which is different from what may be in their country. And the teachers also have buddy teachers, and not only do their buddy teachers support them, but all of the foreign language staff in each of the schools where the VIF teachers are located really support our VIF teachers and share materials. And one of the things that Roy had been talking about was all of our teachers, including Roy, have done a bank of visuals that they have created and have done on the computer and are sending to each other via the email process. And Roy has been a great help in that, but also supported by the teachers. So we're supporting them, and Roy is really, and the other VIF teachers, participating to the ongoing process of staff development in the district. They are also supported by VIF. VIF provided them with a week-long training in North Carolina in August before they came here. In late September, they did a weekend workshop on discipline, which was given by one of the staff members from New Jersey Principals and Supervisors. They provide ongoing staff development for individual teachers who are experiencing difficulties, and those are tailored to the needs of the teacher. There is a representative from VIF with an extensive educational background in foreign language who comes in and observes the teachers, and we actually went together to see the teachers in early October and met with them and talked with them and processed what was going on in the classroom in terms of looking at the New Jersey core curriculum content standards and the New Jersey frameworks. So they get that VIF support as well as district support. And I'm sure that the building principals are also quite involved and supportive with the VIF teachers.
Is that another difference that you found? Do we provide more support or less support here than you have found in your homeland?
Yes. All these courses that we are invited to go, and all this support is amazing. It's I mean, from like comparing my country, we don't have those many courses, and you know, with all these well-prepared speakers, you know, and who come with new ideas, with new methodologies, how to handle the classroom, and that makes a big difference. That also increase or make a difference in our curriculum, because we're attending all these courses, and that is good, you know, for our knowledge.
Have you had an opportunity to participate in any community activities or extracurricular activities?
At this point, I have been participating in the Spanish club. We have a Spanish club in the school, and where we not only have a good time, you know, for 1 hour and 1 hour and a half, but also we teach. That's a place where we bring more culture to the students. They are more free. This is not like the idea of the classroom where everything or most of the things are more rigid and more static. The students are able to dance, to learn about culture, to see a video and then talk about the video in the target language, and you know, have some fun. Sometimes we cook for them, or they cook. They prepare a Spanish meal or a Latin meal, and all these activities also help students to get involved into the language and you know, like it much more.
Mary, have we had any of our other teachers coaching or involved in other kinds of activities?
Well, Karine Boutelot, who is our French teacher, is involved with the French club at Churchill. The teachers did arrive so late in the year that they were not able to sign up to be coaches. I know that several of them had said that they would be interested in doing extracurricular activities, but that will most likely happen next year once they understand the system and how everything works and gets used to the classroom.
One of the things that we did learn this summer, and you mentioned earlier, was how difficult housing is in East Brunswick, that there was no available housing. So if this is a program that we're going to continue, we might ask our community members to get involved and help us locate housing for our visiting faculty staff.
Yeah, that would be a big help. The housing is at a premium in East Brunswick, and the teachers did have a lot of difficulty arriving days before school started and having to settle into a home and plan for their first weeks of instruction.
Well, clearly the program addresses the needs that we have in our curriculum, as well as filling positions where we have the critical shortage, and it's clear from this discussion that there are some significant benefits to our students to interact with somebody from a different culture and a different background, and that brings a lot to the classroom. I want to thank you, Mrs. Mackenzie and Mr. Umana, for joining me today, and I want to thank the viewers for joining us as well.